Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is TJ, also known as Little 101. I want to give you a little insight on a few things. I know I haven't uploaded a lot of things in a while, but I've been kind of on the busy side, working a lot of different things here and there. One of the things is working with 3D printing. A lot of folks want to get into 3D printing nowadays, but a lot of folks don't know where to get started. Well, I give you a little backstory on mine. I have fun a lot working with drones here, this and that. Like, okay, why not I start working on my own things, and I can also start prototyping. That's a good thing about 3D printing. You can prototype things, you can make your own things, you can test things out before you can even have to worry about it, and then go from there. And I'm going to show you a few tips here, things like that, things that I'm built, tips on 3D printing together, and in this video. Stay tuned. Safety. Let's talk about safety. 3D printing is very, very nice. It's one of the many aspects of using it. Comes with risk. With anything we do, a lot of things come with risk. And with the risk that we take when using 3D printing, evolves around small toxins, which comes from the fumes that comes from certain filaments that we use. Also, we have electrical capabilities so that can cause a fire. We want to make sure and keep all that to a minimum. One way we do that, smoke alarms. You keep smoke alarms. You want to keep a smoke alarm and a fire extinguisher around to make sure that if there is something that breaks out, you can contain it. You have heating elements. You have the extruder that heats up. You also have a heat bed in some printers. Some printers don't have a heat bed, but you still have that as a concern that you want to be careful about. Always do maintenance. At least once every 6 months if you're doing heavy printing. If you're not doing a whole lot of printing, still you want to do maintenance. You can still have dust buildup. Dust buildup can cause shorts. It can cause fires also. So definitely want to be careful about that. Always want to keep your machine very well maintained, as well as cleaned in a nice environment. Alright. Next step. When you working with everything, your printer is very volatile. It requires a lot of different course maintenance. You want to keep it working in good top working order. One of those things that I did to make sure that will always be won't be too much of an issue was I used Loctite. Loctite on my screws, on the main screws, to help make sure the frame was steady in place. Once I put the Loctite on, I didn't have to worry about the frame moving as much. Well, not necessarily not moving as much, but the screws vibrating out of the different areas that it needs to stay in. The machine is moving constantly. You got 3 axes, X, Y, and Z. Everything's moving. There's vibrations. We want to keep that to a minimum. The more rigid it is, the less vibrations we can keep off of it, the better. Which also brings to mind what I also like to use as well. One thing is you can also use a mat. This is a grip mat that I have. Inside my enclosure, I have a grip mat laid out with the printer sitting on top. The good thing is it's not sliding around. Not only is it not sliding around, but also it helps dampen the sound as well. The enclosure does take out a lot of the sound, but with this grip mat, it kind of softens the printer as it's actually as it's literally vibrating with each move, and at the same time it helps keep the noise down as well. It don't make a lot of noise when it's printing, but it does help. Alright, also another thing, keeping it always calibrated. If you keep it calibrated, you don't have to worry about it causing problems down the road as well, for as on your prints, because on your prints you're gonna have you'll actually notice there's certain things as you print in your experience, and you're gonna learn different things, saying, hey, guess what, I got a line here that's offline. Well, I need to be able to keep it aligned at all times. One way we do that, I have printed my own tools. These little tools right here help me keep my Z and my X's completely calibrated together. With these both at the same height, same height, at the same location, along the lines of keeping those lines straight. Now my print has a higher success rate when I'm actually printing. Also, another way we can help actually keep it even better from moving around as much. Like I said, I have an enclosure. Some will actually put maybe feet on the bottom, like rubber feet. You can do that, but you want to make sure that it's not rocking. As soon as it's moved, it can shift. That shift throws your axis off. Every little bit of movement can cause the axis to be thrown off. You have to make sure keep it down to the minimum. Another way, we have little small brackets we can put on the different posts throughout the entire printer to help make sure it's down tight, close to the actual surface, to make sure it's not jerking around or it's not moving around as much. All right, that's one good way to do it. That's help also minimize your movement to help keep that print looking real nice and pretty. All right. Also, another thing, you want to keep tools on at all times. Those tools is normally, let's say, a little paint scraper. We have snips, even an X-Acto knife. Now, you asking, why would I use these? One, I can use this to help scrape off and clean my print surface. My print surface is very vital to keep making sure that my prints are very successful. All right. Second of all, when I print also, the filament. The snips comes in handy in more than one way. Not only helps me to cut off a bad part of the filament, but let's say I need to load the printer up. For mine, I'll cut it at a little slight angle, like this. If you look very closely, sorry about that, it has a little angle in which it goes in. That's how it actually grips right there. That little angle within the teeth allows it to grip real good, including with the tension that's on it, as well as the extruder inside. It makes it work just flawless. It's there and there. Sometimes it can get stuck, but if it's done right, it works great every time. Now, let's talk about a print surface. When you first get your printer, most folks, oh, go use blue tape. Oh, use glass. You can use different ways. There's different types of print. You can print on different ways. All right. One, you have a heated bed, so you have an advantage and a not so good advantage. Okay. Now, most of the time when you first get it, you use blue tape. That's good and all, but blue tape for me, it was sticking to my print with, even when I was using glue sticks. Okay. So I said, you know what? There has to be a better way to do this. So I upgraded to the wonderful frog tape, which is better than the green tape. The frog tape works great. Don't actually get stuck, but it will adhere right, and because it does need a surface to grip, it will grip it just right as it's printing. Okay. Now, also there are other alternatives for us printing. A lot of us like to use a build tack. There's different types of build tack sheets out there. You have PEI, you got Print Bright, you have even a build tack like this, and it has an adhesive on the back that we'll actually take off and lay on the actual print bed. Once it's heated, it opens up, and once it cools down, the pores in it will close up and shrink almost. In other words, once it shrinks, it allows the print to just pop right off. All right, I'm back. Camera went down. But as I was saying, build tack. Great stuff to use. Depends on what type of surface you want to go for. There's different ones out. There's a lot of research for it. You have bite grit, you have build tack, you have, of course, like I said, your tapes. You can even glass. Some of them you can use with glue sticks to help the extra adhesion. Now there also is one called if I'm not mistaken. That's a gloop you can use, but they're all work. It's been proven. Everyone has different success with each one. So, and I've had success with the ones I done showed you so far. All right, one more other thing. As part of something you want to do, maintenance. It's good to have an enclosure. As you see, I have a print going. The cool part about my enclosure, you will notice I have handles on the sides, like right here, and as well on the other side. Works real good. The handles allows me to lift it up, and at the same time, I can literally lift this up and then work on it, on the maintenance of the actual printer itself, if needed, without having to move the printer around as much, and it's not locked in. All I do is remove a few screws inside, and it's done. It's ready to roll. And that's why I have it set up right now. All right, on to the next type of topic. Gonna be some tips. Some of these tips is real cool. I'm gonna explain to you. I come across along the way. They just work, and they actually help out in the long run. Now, when you print, you want to be able to store your filament when you're not printing. You can even use these type techniques when you printing also. We have what's called dry boxes. A dry box allows you to keep your filament not only clean, but also from the elements of keeping it dry, because there's moisture in the air. And some of your filaments, they will absorb the moisture out of the air. For instance, this little container. This is a container I keep one of my filaments in, specifically flexible type filament. It's a generic type filament, but hey, it's a flexible. I can work with it, and at the same time or whatnot, it works. The good part about it is the fact it's being kept dry, and I do have a little delicate silica in it to help keep wick away that moisture. Now I have a bigger box that keeps all my other filament in as well, like the PLA, my glow in the dark, the other like wood filaments, things like that. Now I do keep that as well, and then I also have little packets also that actually help absorb all that moisture out, as well as I have a weather strip around it. It's like a big storage bin. Now the cool part about that bin is it's designed. I designed it so it can actually keep all of the moisture out, and then it's gonna wick out the moisture when it's open. Because as soon as you open it, it's gonna pull moisture in, but it helps keep it sealed. That seal makes it workable. All right, on to the next thing. Now, like I tell you, I'm into drones and whatnot. I love drones. It's a lot of fun. It's to me, it's a whole nother world when you're flying. But what do you do when you have a part that you need to work on, or you have a part that breaks? You need to go and try to figure out. Oh, I got to order a part. Well, some parts I can make. For instance, this is one of my drones. Here you can see this drone is mostly 3D printed except for my arms and this bottom plate. But everything else 3D printed. It's a fun little drone to fly. Based off the ZMR, I just did some modifications to it, and I like flying it. It's a lot of fun. It's simple and a lot of fun. Here's another one. My Acrobat, my latest one. But now I'll tell you about that flexible filament. That flexible filament has a unique characteristic where it flexes. So if I hit something, it allows it. It's like a rubber. It bounces off stuff. That's why you see it accented in the color I showed you. That's the color. Of course, it's a lot of fun to fly. But also, if I crash, who doesn't crash? It could bounce. I could also decorate it as is. It's kind of fun. Now, another cool aspect of it, your equipment. We have a lot of equipment that we do carry around, but we also carry a lot of our stuff, like me, in my backpack. Well, my backpack, I don't want nothing happening to my equipment either, like my transmitter. What do? I print parts also to help protect the transmitter. For instance, it's my Tyrannus. Gimbal protectors. We got a piece up here to help not only help protect my switches, but the antenna as well, so it doesn't get broken.